Water. We use it for many things, often without thinking about how much we use. But what if your water was limited? What if that water wasn't always safe to drink? What if you only got access to water a few times a month? That's the situation with many villages in India, including this one. I'm Kirk with Jesus for Asia, and we're here to discover what we can do to help these people find consistently available pure water. It's hard to imagine that 97 million people in India lack access to safe water. The second largest country in the world by population, India is rich with culture and resources, with a growing economy and advancing technology. Yet, with such growth, the nation as a whole faces a monumental challenge. Jesus for Asia has many projects throughout India, and we have realized that the need for clean water is a huge evangelistic opportunity to share the love of Jesus with these beautiful people. So a team was sent to research how we can help provide clean water to those in need. Water is one of the most basic needs of every human being on earth. People understand that water is not optional. It's a necessity. That's why, for thousands of years, cities have been built near sources of fresh water. But for the village of Bharatinagar, there is no local water source. The only source of fresh water comes from the government, and that is heavily rationed. We asked Jesus for Asia India Director Israel Prasad to explain the situation to us.
In this village, there is a lot of difficulties with the water, getting good water, regular water. Weekly once they get government water, and that too it is only for 1 hour, and that is not regular. Sometimes they get and sometimes they don't get.
Wow.
During the 1 hour time, 4 families will take water in one tap. So the first family will be taking 3 pots of water. And once they are done with 3 pots, then the next family will be taking. So it is like that with the 4, and by the time it comes to the next, if it is water is still coming, they'll go for the next round. And then if it is some more water comes, they will go for the 3rd round, which means per family, the maximum water is 90 liters of water per week. The whole week they have to spend with that water only.
So that water is not only the water that they cook with, it's the water they bathe with,
yes,
and the water they drink.
They do.
That's not very much water.
Yes, they have a lot of difficulties.
90 liters of water is equivalent to 23.8 gallons. But there are weeks they don't even get 90 liters.
We have to go walking and look for water.
They will go nearly 6 to 7 kilometers to get good drinking water.
Wow.
Mostly the ladies will go walking. They keep one on their head, another one on their hip, and they bring 2 at a time.
Now that's pretty heavy.
Very heavy.
Wow.
Sometimes we find water close, and sometimes we have to walk many kilometers to find water.
Oh, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine doing that in the heat.
It's really difficult. But anyhow, they have to survive,
And they have to use their water very sparingly, I would imagine.
Exactly. You can imagine 90 liters of water for 1 week.
Washing and bathing are very challenging with so little water.
Just think how much you appreciate clean, pure drinking water. How much do you appreciate that you don't have to walk 7 kilometers to go get water every day? How much do you appreciate that every time you turn on your tap, you have water? Well, this village, as you've seen from our previous footage, they don't have that luxury. This should be a basic, fundamental, what am I trying to say? This should be a need that everyone has met. Food and water. Those are basic needs in life. It's difficult for us to imagine a life like that. I wanted to see what it would be like for an American family to live with the same amount of water that the villagers in Nagar get. So I went to visit my good friends Brian and Chris and their 3 children, Lillian, Sarah, and Luke, and challenged them to see if they could live on such a limited supply of water. The average American family of 4 uses 2,100 to 2,800 gallons of water per week. That is equivalent to 300 to 400 gallons per day. A family in Nagar gets a maximum of 90 liters of water a week, which is equivalent to 23.8 gallons. That is only 3.4 gallons a day. 1, 2, 3.4 gallons of water a day.
For the whole family.
For the whole family. Can you survive your whole family on 3.4 gallons of water for a day?
I don't know. How would we do that?
No dishwasher,
No laundry.
no showers.
No flushing the toilet? Is that, we're not going to do anything?
I've come to Bethel Children's Home in South India because I heard they were having some trouble with the water, and I wanted to find out from Israel Prasad if the situation had improved.
We had water in this well when I first came to see this property, and later it got fully dried up.
Okay.
There was no water. So there was a problem with the water. Then we thought of putting a bore well, deep well.
Okay.
We went up to 1,000 feet and there was no water, and while drilling, it was just smoke.
Really?
Yeah, there was no water at all. But, we prayed and the children prayed and so many prayed. God gave us water. We have enough of water for the daily need.
God gave them water because they prayed. When at first there was no water in the well, a local witch doctor told them that if they had let him perform a puja, there would have been water. They refused and prayed to God, and now they have water, and the whole village knows that it was their God who provided the water.
But unfortunately, it is little salty, can't be used for drinking purposes, for cooking purposes, even sometimes if you pour for the plants, even the plants are not really growing up, and we are still praying that God would change that saltiness into tasty so that it will be useful for the children and for the daily needs.
We have 16 orphans right now
Right,
here,
right.
and with the hopes of bringing in many more, so we're going to need pure water for the
Right.
orphans
Exactly.
and water for the agricultural needs as well.
Yes. And right now we are having a very difficult time with this water because we are getting government water. It comes, once in a week sometime, and sometimes 15 days once it comes. We cannot really rely on that.
Okay.
And we are in need of good drinking water.
probably drink all of it, but like one.
We reuse the water for dishes, right?
What about rinsing them? What about bathing?
Take a shower once a week. And we save the water. We don't have to use the same bathing water. Unless
That would
we
be
all
fun.
use like this one. I mean like half of this. And
Yeah,
we
'cause,
would
like,
How would you get the soap out of your hair?
and we would
Very
use
careful.
these two to drink.
And not to mention eating. I mean, you have to have water to cook with.
One day I have
So
to wash
exciting.
dishes for the week. I don't know how that works. One day I have to take a bath. One day you have to wash all the laundry.
All the laundry in this.
Well, I'm gonna drink less that day.
Could we really wash all 5 outfits in that much water? We'd have to drink way less.
Now we have this for.
Now we have 2.
Okay. So now we have this for.
So this is
Flushing the toilet, doing dishes,
this is for
washing.
No, it has to be for the probably.
But the
How do you-
toilet would use 1.5 of these.
Okay, so.
Every time it's flushed.
Well, we only do that once a day, maybe. Well, I mean, you have to.
We could never flush the toilet, Mom.
Chris,
No!
do you want water or do you want the shovel?
Brian, how much water does this take to run?
Oh, probably only about 15 gallons.
Won't do that.
We're here in the village of Harur today. I came here 2 years ago, and at that time I learned there was a real problem with the water. I first noticed it with the children. Every child had yellow stains on their teeth. It wasn't just the children, it was young and old. And I inquired what was going on, and someone told me, well, that's due to the salt content in the water.
The water is very salty and difficult to drink. We get stains on our teeth and have stomach aches sometimes. Because of this water, we are losing our eyesight.
The quality of the water is literally causing the people to go blind.
My own father is suffering from weak bones, and another relative has kidney failure. Many people have black spots on their skin. Even our animals don't drink this water. When we go to the doctor with our diseases, the doctor says the water is the cause. He is asking us to drink purified water, but we can't afford to buy that water. So we have to drink this water and get these diseases.
The purified water that is around here has so much chlorine that it's harder to drink than the salt water.
So I just wondered, do we have an idea of a solution for this problem here?
Yes, I was talking with a church pastor,
Okay.
and he read on a magazine, a local newspaper, that there is a project
Okay.
to clean this water,
Okay.
purify it,
Okay.
and they store it on a tank.
Okay.
For the public, they give a coin which is about a 1 rupee coin.
Okay.
They insert inside the machine and they get 20 liters of water.
Wonderful.
Purified water.
Wonderful.
So I've asked the pastor to inquire
Okay.
about how much it would cost and what are those things need to be done.
Okay.
So first of all, we need a bore well right in this
Okay.
church. Because there is no water here.
Okay.
And I was told that there is no other water sources nearby,
Okay.
like river or a pond or
Okay.
anything else. So people 100% they are depending on the groundwater
Okay.
here in this village. So it is important that we have a board drilled here in the church. And then if you plant that purifying water, it will be a great blessing. And right now, I was told that in order to get a good purified water, they are paying 30 rupees for that 20 liters.
Wow, 30. Wow.
Yes, and where the poor people are not afford to do it, they are forced to drink this salty water.
Yes.
And as a result, like you said, they end up having all these physical problems.
Yes, yes.
And the most saddest part is sometimes they even get cancer.
Oh no.
And the bones are so weak.
Yes.
You know, very sad.
Yes. Well, something has to be done about it. So I'm glad to hear that there is a solution.
Yes, there is a solution. Yes. By God's grace, if you get a good drinking purified water here itself, without any chlorine or any chemicals, it will be a blessing for us.
You know, I felt really almost foolish years ago when we came here and we did a health presentation and we talked about nutrition and pure water. And it wasn't until afterwards that I found out that this village, they don't have pure water. They can't get it. So I felt a bit foolish, I must say, because it is so important to health to have fundamental basics. Pure water is a fundamental basic need that we all need.
Yes,
so
you're right.
I really want to thank you for sharing. We decided to investigate the myriad of complaints from the villagers of Harur as a result of drinking the salty water of their village. How could so many health problems result from drinking salty water? As it turns out, our research shows that the salty taste of the water is the least of the problems. The people blame the salt, not knowing that one of the greatest problems with their water is fluoride, which causes fluorosis. Nearly every complaint that was expressed from ingesting this salty water is attributable to fluoride. Fluoride and other contaminants also enter the body through ingested food that has been grown in the contaminated water. Other toxic contaminants such as arsenic, iron, nitrates, heavy metals, and coliform can be found in the water in different areas of India in unpermissible levels. All of these contaminants carry in their train nothing but woe and misery for men, women, children, and livestock. Today is an exciting day for the village of Bharati Nagar. Through the generous contributions of donors in North America, Jesus for Asia was able to hire a crew to drill a well next to the Seventh-day Adventist Church. A nearby Hindu temple had attempted to drill a well 7 months ago, but they did not find any water. We're praying earnestly that God will provide water in our well to be a witness to the whole village of His power and love. So this well that I know God is going to bring water from today is going to make a huge impact on this village.
Definitely, yes. It's going to be a blessing for all the village people. Yeah, and that is the reason we have put this well, here. And our church is not going to be a church only for Seventh-day Adventists.
Okay.
It's going to be a place where people will quench their thirst from today on.
Wonderful.
So we thank the Lord for this beautiful project, the vision for this project.
Absolutely, that's great. I mean, what a testimony it can be in this village where not everyone is a Christian.
Exactly, you're right. It is going to bring a very good impact on our church.
It sounds like we need to do this in quite a few other villages.
Oh yes, yes. There are so many other villages where they don't have water. Some places they have, but it's a salty water. But still people are using the same salty water. So, we are in need of more bores like this.
In Nagar, the bore well has been drilling for over 7 hours, and scores of villagers have gathered to watch the progress. 250 feet down, the drill struck water, but it was not enough for a well, so we had to keep drilling. Since then, the drill has been spewing only dust, and there's great worry that this well will also be dry like the one next to the Hindu temple. Everyone is hoping and praying that soon we will see a small change in the color of the dust, indicating the presence of water.
Right now we are nearing about 760 feet, and now the dust which comes out is a little wet, and that's a very good sign. When the borewell was drilling, I just came this side, backside of the church, to see those men who were drilling, to talk to them. I was surprised to see there were 2 ladies at each side of the church, crying bitterly, praying to the Lord for the water. I was completely touched because the whole church was praying. Everyone was praying. Because as you mentioned, it is kind of the, Satan didn't have water, but the living God, what is it with him, what is he going to do? He did a miraculous thing.
We are prayed and prayed, not only 1 day or 2 days. It's a very long time we prayed here in this chapel. Really, God is answer to our prayer. Since we are praying here in faith, that faith today we have seen our eyes, that borewell is already done here. We will get its water. Really, the God is great. He will help not only this water, in every need, our God will provide for us.
Unfortunately, we could not stay in the village to taste the water. But before we left for another area of India, a couple of villagers came to our hotel and brought a sample of the water for Israel to taste. The water is discolored because of the grease from the drilling, but all the greasy water will be pumped out and it will be clear after that. Is this water, a lot of the water in India can have a salty taste, so you're going to be able to determine if this is salty or if it has a sweet taste?
Yes.
Well, we're excited.
Okay. It is very nice. Okay. No salt, only the grease taste was there. If all those grease and everything is gone, the water is really tasty.
The Hindu people from across the street thought we spent so much money but didn't find water. But this morning they saw the church members letting a bottle down with a rope, and when they pulled it up, there was water. After the church member tasted the water, a Hindu man tasted it and said, "Wow, it's nice drinking water." What an amazing witness for God. Despite the evidence that seemed to indicate that drilling a well would be useless, God blessed the faith and prayers of His people by providing water in the well. Pastor Gabriel is the minister for the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Horur. We asked him to explain the potential impact if we provide clean water for his village.
I think if we can drill a bore well and purify the water and give it to the people, then through that we can share the love of Jesus and many people will turn from the world and follow Him. I think of the Samaritan woman who met Jesus while she went to get water, and many people came to know about Him because of her witness. The same way, this place can be a blessing if we have good water, because the biggest need of this village is water. If we give them good water, then they will be open to the gospel.
Here in the first world, our water supply is abundant. As a matter of fact, my family and I use more than 100 times the amount of water that some families in India get in a day. That got me thinking. Pure water is a basic human need, as is the gospel. No one should have to suffer for lack of water or be poisoned by contaminated water, especially the children. Yet our brothers and sisters are suffering from these dangers. The water crisis in India is a tremendous evangelistic opportunity for the 97 million people who lack access to pure water and a saving knowledge of their only hope, Jesus Christ. While their biggest felt need is water, the greater need is Christ. While here on earth, He spent most of His ministry meeting the felt needs of the people. After winning their confidence, they were then open to hear His teachings. In providing pure water, we're following Christ's example by meeting their needs. His love is seen in our actions, and their hearts are softened. The walls of prejudice are broken down. When we drill a well on church property, everyone who goes there to satisfy their thirst is made aware of a greater thirst that only Christ can quench. We're so thankful for the donors that made this well in Bharatinagar possible. But many more need to be drilled and more research is needed on water purification systems. Please consider partnering with us today to help meet both the physical and spiritual crises that these many villages in India face.